Once upon a time, on a clear and sunny day, a queen sat at her window looking at the blue sky when she saw a blackbird fly by. The black looked so beautiful against the sky, she thought to herself, "If only I had a child with black hair and bright blue eyes." Soon after, she gave birth to a daughter with a crown of black locks and sparkling blue eyes, and named her Sky Blue. The queen died soon after the child was born, and the king remarried a year later. Although beautiful, she was particularly insecure and would not accept anyone surpassing her beauty. The new queen gazed in her magic mirror every day and asked, "Magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" For years the mirror reassured the queen that she was the fairest, and she was satisfied. Eventually, the magic mirror made minor suggestions which turned into procedures such as Botox, lip fillers, hair extensions, lash extensions, and tattooed eyebrows. And the queen followed every suggestion until she looked like a distorted wax figure. Ultimately, the magic mirror told the queen that there were too many other, younger, more beautiful women in the kingdom, and she would never be the fairest of them all. But the queen could not accept this fate, and she devised an evil plan to eliminate her competition. The royal garden was filled with bright red apple trees, with enough fruit to feed the entire kingdom. The queen ordered the royal gardeners to pick every ripe apple and bring it to her. Witchcraft and research allowed the queen to develop a venomous serum comprised of ingredients such as inflammatory fillers, red clover, lead, and a drop of essential oil. She went into a secret room where nobody came and injected the serum into each apple, knowing it would result in hair loss, rash, and the potential for liver and kidney damage. She knew anyone who ate these apples would become sickly from the side effects that caused them to be uglier than she, but it would take time and countless apples. The queen promoted her shiny red, albeit poisonous, apples as a miracle source of health and beauty, but she needed a way to distribute the apples to beautiful women, as she was too important to speak to the commoners. She went to her naive stepdaughter, Sky.
"Sky Blue, I have discovered magical apples that will miraculously grant those who eat them health and beauty."
Believing the queen, Sky passed the apples out to her friends, and the king was pleased with the queen's philanthropic gesture. But the queen knew Sky's friends only made up a small portion of the kingdom, so she had to think bigger.
"How can I make sure all of the beautiful women in the kingdom eat the poisonous apples?"
The queen knew of 6 hard-working gnomes who worked at a nearby coal mine in search for gold. The queen sent Sky Blue to convince the gnomes that it would take much less effort to deliver the apples to all the young women throughout the kingdom in the name of health and goodwill. Sky pitched the idea to the gnomes. In addition to the pitch, the queen offered to pay the gnomes a generous salary and vacations once they distributed all of the apples to all of the beautiful women. As a bonus, she promised the gnome who gave away the most apples a leadership role and a brand new pink sleigh. The gnomes couldn't resist such an incredible offer with perks, and they agreed to follow the queen's commands. Every day from dawn till dusk, the gnomes wandered the streets searching for young women to feed their miracle apples. At first, the women were happy to oblige, but eventually they were tired of eating the apples and avoided the gnomes. The queen told the gnomes to persuade the young women who are sick of eating apples to take the apples anyway and hand them out to their friends. But the women were now irritated because they were losing hair and feeling ill. "We don't want any more apples," they would insist. But the gnomes maintained that the apples promoted good health. Ignoring the ongoing grievances, 5 of the gnomes continued to push the apples, but the 6th gnome decided he'd had enough. "I'm tired of working day and night, urging these women to take the apples, and prefer working at the mine. And where is the payment, the vacation, or the miraculous results that were promised? How many apples must I give away to earn a pink sleigh?" The other gnomes agreed, But they brought the concerns to the queen, and she snarled at them as she insisted they weren't working hard enough. She told them they needed to work more hours and to shun the problematic gnome who was feeding their minds with negativity. So the 6 gnomes stopped talking to their brother, who they now vilified and blamed their failures on, his bad attitude and lack of determination. Meanwhile, at the castle, Sky had become sick from the infected apples and fainted. The king was so worried about his daughter, he ordered his medical advisor to invent a cure immediately. The advisor, running out of time and not knowing what to do, was aware that the queen had her barrels of magic potion, aka toxic serum, hidden in the secret room. Believing her miraculous potion promoted health, the advisor took the serum from an almost empty barrel and replaced it with sugar water. Now he could announce to the king and queen that he discovered a cure. The advisor presented the king with the vial filled with stolen liquid and assured him that the princess would be healed. The evil queen didn't want Sky Blue to heal, so she took the vial while the king wasn't looking and drank it herself, believing the advisor had concocted a formula for healing. She replaced the vial with the sugar water and fed that to Sky. The amount of poison the queen ingested was so toxic that her already disfigured appearance became hideous. Soon, the truth was revealed, and the king ended his marriage with his deceitful queen. Now homeless, she wandered the kingdom until she discovered a group who welcomed the needy. However, initiation included a walk across hot coals as a symbol that those who make it through fire can make it through anything. Unfortunately, the queen failed the initiation and burned both of her feet. She could never walk again. The gnomes in Sky Blue explained to the king how they were duped by his former wife. The king took mercy on the gnomes and purchased them a one-way ticket to the North Pole, as promised, where they could work their dream job making toys for a living. As for the gnome that recognized the scam and was ostracized, as for Sky, she never ate another apple again and lived happily ever after. The end.